They might be there at my home, so I'm going to start digging. And if I can't find, I'll.
I was wondering what to use because I thought SEO.tv, the one we have records, the screen.
Cam Studio does it really nicely, and the quality is good as well. It's not that like it's wide. It's just it's good. Okay, so what we've done is just a simple insert in the I've just created a form. At the moment, obviously your image upload wouldn't work. The only why I've done these is just to show that when you're making a form, think of interactive ways of making your form instead of how can you avoid someone typing, because that's the user-friendly form where you just have different kind of. So here insert record is working. So let's try this page. Save as event. So that's your page. 12. Event date 2015. Now here I can pick up any image I like. Yeah, I can pick up, but it will not get uploaded. That's all. Venue. Now in here I can write any venue I want. Click on show and save details. In the table, yeah, but it's not given me any error. It's on line number 45, it's saying, but here it should be this. Anyways, it was a warning, isn't it? It was not an error. Undefined, it's fine. Because what will happen is, if I go and see in localhost, I know what the error is, but according to me, the error is that it can't pick up. Scroll down. The name of the image. So if I go to events and I say events here, E12, right? But e-image has not been picked up. The rest of the information is there, but because the type of the box we've created now, it's no longer a text box, right? It's called file box. Computer treats it to be a file box, so that's why it cannot pick up what the name is. If I create a normal text field, the normal text field has whatever it has got, whatever you write inside is a text. It can just pick it up, right? But the problem is when you create a file type, then what it needs to be that there is a file, and file has got properties, like file has got a name, file has got a size, and file itself. Does that make sense? So computer hasn't been able to pick up a property called as name from there. Do you understand? Yeah. What we would be able to do is in here we have to change this. Can you see this post? For every variable, for any form variable, what is the type? The type is post. Is that right? But when you use a file field, it is no longer called post. It is called file. Have you understood what I'm trying to say? Any variable in when it is passing through the URL, we call it as URL parameter, and we can access that variable with $_get, right? Whatever is in the form is called post, and you can use it by $_post followed by variable name. But as soon as we create a file type, it is no longer called post, it is called as file. $_file. Yeah. So we do not have a post e-image, and that is what that error message is saying. You know, with the error message which was on the screen where we entered. This message, undefined index, it just means that it does not have a text field type called as image. Yeah. So what we need to do is we need to change that to $_file. So if I go here and write for e-image, the name is going to still remain image, right? I can't change the name. It's going to remain that, but I'm going to call that as, if I write, just to show you. Can you see files in that? Yeah. And the name of the box is e-image only, right? But in front of it, I will have to write down that you want to pick up that file name. Is that okay? This is that text field, and you want a name out of that, because a file can have properties. File can have size, file can have type, file can have name, file has got so many other properties. Is that okay? Before let's try this first. If this works, then you will understand. So all I have done is change this post to files for my image. Is that okay? So if I save this and then go back and back here, I'm going to enter another one, E13, let's say. Okay, 20 and okay, and it show. Yeah. A warning message has changed. It's no longer called index not found e-image. What it is saying is that it expects a parameter to be a string, not an array, right? We'll come down to that. Let's go and see in database what it has done. So has it entered the right? the moment it is picking up this, is that right? And it picked up that, but it is doing so because my structure has edate as state. It doesn't have it as, yeah. If I convert that to date, it will not pick up that. So should I convert my edate to date? Yeah. And then you can see whether it picks up the date in what format, right? So edate change date. Is that okay? So everything is going to become 0, 0. As soon as I do that, all this has become, yeah. So, and that's the only one which has stayed. That's the right format. So that one is the only one which has stayed. So if you put, but what we're going to do is we can allow a person to enter date in as month, day, year. But before putting it into the database, we can convert it into year, month, year, month, and date. So, sorry? No, we should allow them to enter as day, month, year. We should convert that into year, month, and day and put that into a database. No? Do you understand? Yeah, if you do a spring, if you do a spry date, spry text field, then you can. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A spry text field, you can set up how do you want them to enter. So there you can set it up them to enter only as year, month, and date, but it's not a good practice. You shouldn't ask user to put date in a year, month, day format. With a calendar, that's an embed. You'll have to use a calendar embed on your form to import that. But we can look into that as well if you want that calendar. How do I get a calendar? Yeah, but then no, it will not be the easiest way because they can choose, but they will choose. The format doesn't change. Do you understand? They can choose, but how does it store into that variable is okay. So that's one thing. So that it's still not picked up my image name, right? The reason why it's not picked up an image name is because when I said this, right, it refers to the whole file. It doesn't refer to the file name. Does that make sense? Sorry? What should I do? Input? It is input file. It is input. It is input type file. Are you sure? You do not, there is a difference in you do not have your text field. You only have a browse button. What did you delete? No, but what I'm saying is that is what I already have. But in your design, in my design, what the difference is I've got the text field as well, and I've got the browse button as well. You do not have a text field. Am I right? And how come you don't have a text field? Or you do? But when I saw your form, I don't think so that I saw that. But anyways. What did you need? What did you rename to browse? You added your own button, is it? So you inserted a text field, is that right? Okay. Okay, what you're saying is you never did insert and form and file field. You actually went for a text field. to change it to file. Okay, but do you get 1 minute? Now I'll ask you one difference. Click on your form, and does it say here nth type? What is your nth type? That's why. That means your file will never get uploaded. Yeah. This has happened because I inserted a file field. Right? Now, if this doesn't change, that means your file will not go when your form gets submitted. It will only take the name. Nothing else will go. And that's why I'm saying that what is happening is, if this is blank, that what I was trying to tell you, that when we are sending form data, look, when I'm trying to show you this, what I'm trying to explain is that when I have changed that to files, right, this one, what do you think it refers to? File is an object, right, and that object has got properties, whereas text field was object in itself, and it had a value which was whatever you filled in, right? But when I refer to this file, it is referring to the whole file. It's not referring to one thing or name. It is referring to the whole file. Now you need to dig, what do you want out of that file? Do you want that file's data? Do you want that file's name? What do you want to find out, right? So what I'm trying to say is that if I want to fix, in my database, what should go? Just the file name, right? So that's why in front of this, how do I get different things out of this? If I say name here, I'll get the file name. If I say type, I will get type. If I write size, I will get file size. So I need to do this in order to get the name. So file, save all. And now if I go and refresh my page, it's a dot. Right? So let's enter. So 28013. And can you see the name of the file now? I just changed that to this. In front of that, I wrote name. But I'm trying to pick up name. No. That's the next step. That's a separate PHP code, has got nothing to do to your page, which I'm going to show you the code. Is that okay? It is, because that's PHP. You know, that's what I'm saying. Dreamweaver allows you basic structure making. Rest all has to be done yourself. Is that okay? Is that right, Mazzino? Yeah? So what we've done is, we've picked up file, we've picked up the name of the file. Now the first task is over. Do you understand? When you are having lot of uploads, there are two tasks. That one, that the name goes into the database, that's one step, right? The entire information goes into the database. The second thing has to be that file should be physically saved on the server, in your images folder or wherever you want that to be stored. Yeah, in your htdocs, that file should be saved in your htdocs root folder and images folder, right? So now that's, at least if this is working, then you know. But this will make me realize that in my events table, my event is not a primary key, because I didn't make my table structure. I'm going to delete this, or I can change this. Yeah, because of this duplicate now. It will not let me make that primary key. Delete. Where EID equals E30. Go. So now if I don't have E13, and I can change the structure because that would be something which you will anyways have. Yeah. But that was not relevant here. It's fine. So this is now this form is working. It's working. That means it's my data is getting inserted. That's fine, right? Now the first thing which we wanted to change was that instead of this venue person entering whatever venue he likes, I want to give him a drop down for the menu, right? So what we need to do is we can do a record set from venues table. Is that right? All the venues. So venues. Image is in the database, isn't it? Name in inverted commas. Name in single quotes. Now that's your record set. Is that right? I've created a record set from a venue table. Is that right? Why have I created a record set from venue table? Because I want to see the names of all the venues. So what I need to do is I need to get rid of this and do insert form list and menu. Name it the same and click here and just do dynamic as you did. And then from the record set 1, what is that you want to show? VID, and you want to show the name of the venue. Go here, choose VID again. Okay. So nothing has changed in the form. The form is working the same way, but instead of having to list or write venue, I can just choose a venue now. Here. Sorry? You will have to have an, when you say what do you mean by it's a new venue?
Well, you're inserting into event details. Perhaps you'd like to have it somewhere else.
So I will have to go to venue table first, insert information in venue first.
So you can't do that.
No. Yeah. Sorry? Yeah, you could give him the option here. You know, some people can live. It's not in the list. Since you know what he's saying is like, let's say, obviously this is admin, isn't it? This is the person admin who's doing it. So he's just looked at, he thinks, oh, that venue is not here. He realized that venue is not here. You could have had a link here next to it, not in the list. And that actually links to the venue insert page, which is user friendliness, that you have the links there. Sometimes what happens is what we could do. There's another. There are so many ways of doing it. I mean, if I say not in the list, does it make sense? I open a new page, or I want to show an iframe here only. Does it make sense? Or I want to just pop up a window. small little window which opens up form only, but doesn't open up as a total new page, just opens up a small window for that. So there's so many, so here, so I have a drop down, I can actually choose the venues, is that right? So if I do Tower Hamlets, E13, shop, description, these are 722. Here I'm going to just pick up one specific image and then show details. It's gone in the table. Is that right? And the name of the image is gone as well. Which buttons? Okay. Upload is not going to work. It won't upload. It's just a name which you are going to put in the database. If you want to do a radio button, the name is in the database. You're saying physically it's not taken the file. It can't. The form can't take the physical. Just the name. It's going in the database. You have a column called as e-image, isn't it? Or I-image, whatever. You have a column called that. Yeah. Okay. Should I wait because I can come down? Okay, let me just stop because then I'll